Well, I'll get rid of what I'm here in a second.
Oh, there, now it goes.
Okay, we are live.
I'm gonna share out, so if I freeze, that's why.
Yeah, and I'm gonna try to get it. What is this? I'm gonna get a good screenshot. Ooh, shit. And it always lags on my end. It takes a minute. Damn it. It's I saw
You
oh,
taking
there
a
we go.
screenshot?
And okay, now I got it. No, I want to get one of those screenshots where you have your tongue sticking out.
No, I don't want any of those, but thanks.
Oh my god, that was so funny that day. And it was so close. So close. All right, make sure
Okay, let me see. Okay.
And this gets to be so confusing sometimes.
Are you gonna share a beginner, or do you want me to?
Oh, if you're there, go ahead and share it because I'm right now. I finally just now got to show up on my notifications, and yeah, I'm just gonna from the Stick Dragon.
Okay, I am sharing out.
Let me look at the comments here. Okay. I usually like it when we have at least a few minutes to view this before anybody starts popping on because then it gets distracting.
That's what I do too. I'm just waiting for everybody to pop on here as we share out. Let's see, do we have any comments yet? I don't even know because I'm not even looking.
Nope, there's none yet.
Well, it usually takes a minute to get there.
See, I the pink eyeshadow. See, it gives me beautiful eyes. See, I knew I should have went with like a purple or a brown than the pink. I don't like that new eyeshadow.
You don't like what?
I don't like my new eyeshadow.
Oh, I thought you said you don't like my blue eyeshadow. I'm like, what the fuck?
No, I said I don't like my new eyeshadow. Oh, it's over there. I'll show it to you. I'll grab it. It's not dark enough.
Yeah, because you got darker skin than I do.
Yeah, and see, I got the pink, and even and there's it just depends on the brand. Like if I wear say like high end makeup, that stuff it shows. And it sticks. It actually pops out more than regular makeup or cheap makeup. That's why I like Ulta and Sephora, and because they got good quality makeup that shows up really good on me.
Yeah, you got that darker skin though that makes a lot of the lighter colors difficult to show up.
Well, it depends on the brand because I have an electric palette from Ultra and it's got all those and it shows up perfect. The palette that I got from my best friend shows up good. It just depends on if it's a high quality high end makeup, then I have no problems. If it's cheap generic or Walmart brand, but depending on the not really Walmart brand, but like Maybelline's got some good. It all depends, but like I have to wear really good makeup or else it don't last. So even if I use primer.
I wear good quality makeup most of the time.
It's better for your skin too.
Yeah, that's why I like it. Let's see here. I'm just sharing out.
I'm sure if I can never find my freaking. I swear to God, like I always have to search for it.
What are you looking for?
Oh, I was like one of my groups. Sometimes it does not it doesn't always show up in the listing. My Divine Soul Expression group. But I wonder if I have it hidden or something. I should go back and okay, there it is. But yeah, it doesn't. I have to type search it out. It doesn't just pop up with the rest of them. And
Okay. I just have to share out.
all right. I need to shave my head again. My hair's growing fast. Oh, there's Rue. Hey, Rue. share my page. If you share us out, that'd be great. Sharing is caring.
Yes, if you could share us out, that would be great. That's what I'm doing right now.
And I forgot my page. I have to my. Hey Andrea. Hey Lachelle.
Sorry, I'm a
We're
little
late.
slow.
You know, I see. I knew I should put in for 11:30, but yeah, we're a little bit behind, and we're waiting to see if Rebecca's going to join us too. And Robot Chicken's on. So almost packed. That's cool. Yeah. I would so love to go to Vegas. Thank you, Andrea. Thank you, Lachelle.
Okay. I think I am done sharing. Hi, guys.
Let me share one more page, and then I should be
Andrea,
good.
Annette, Lachelle, Rue, thanks for joining us. We're going to talk about all sorts of things, hopefully. If anybody has anything specific they want to talk about.
Oh. I gotta share on Messenger. I almost forgot.
Yeah, I was just doing that too. Thanks for sharing, guys. We appreciate it. Oh, you go. Oh yeah, you're going to where did you tell me you were going? You're going to Vegas, right, Annette?
Yeah.
I'm trying to remember where she told me she was going. And I'm so glad your husband got cleared to go too.
That's awesome.
Yeah. Win some good money while you're there.
Yep,
I know I never do, but maybe you'll have better luck than me. I like to play. I usually don't lose money, but I don't win money either. So you want to go to Vegas too? We should all book a trip and go together. That would be so fun.
Yeah, tickets are really cheap. Flying to Vegas is cheap. It's flying out of Vegas gets expensive.
I don't think it's as
get
cheap
good
from
package
South
deals.
Africa.
Yeah, you might as well get on that plane now, and we'll see you in about a week or that's a long flight. That's a really long flight.
That is a long flight. Yeah, I don't think they're so cheap from South Africa to Vegas. That would be a little bit of a costly ticket, I think.
There she is. Okay. Oh man. Yep. Rings.
Well, you should still have fun, Michelle.
Oh, there goes I just dropped my ring. Damn it.
Yeah, I know you're not from the U.S. It's a long, long ways. You looking to
Wow,
that's a lot. One way to
Jesus
just
Christ.
London. Yeah, that's expensive. Hi, Christy.
Oh, that's
hi, Mandy.
30 years doesn't come out. Hey, Mandy. Oh, that's oh my God, that's a lot of money.
Yeah, well, she's going all the way from South Africa, so that's pretty long. I think that's where Lachelle lives, if I recall correctly.
Yeah, but still, that's fucking ridiculous. Like you could buy a small, tiny, 1-bedroom house for that price.
Yeah, in some places you can.
Yeah.
You know where I really want to go this year? I don't know if I'll make it there, but I really, really want to go to New Orleans.
I want to go to Vegas. I've always wanted to go to Vegas and of course Sedona, and I've only seen New York at least one time.
I studied so much on Hoodoo this last year because a lot of people have a lot of questions on it. I mean, I knew a lot about Hoodoo before, but I really, really dove into it this past year. Not that I practice Hoodoo, it's not, it doesn't align with some of my belief structures, but some of the principles behind it you can absolutely use in everyday magic for yourself. And Hoodoo, most people don't realize it's not actually a religion. It's kind of just like a way to make your life easier on the day to day. It's really what it is. It's more of like a philosophy than it is like a religion. It's just about making things easier. And I really, really, really want to go and see where Marie Laveau lived.
See, yeah, my mom's been in New Orleans. She's been to Mardi Gras and all that. See, I wouldn't mind going to Mardi Gras. I wouldn't mind getting some beads. I get some beads.
Well, she's buried in an unmarked grave, and nobody knows the actual location. I mean, they have a tribute to her in one of the cemeteries there, but it's not actually where she's buried. They relocated her body. Her family did.
But they did that with my mom's mom too. They buried her, and then there was like a flooding or something like that, and they had to relocate all the bodies to a different cemetery. So my mom's not even sure exactly where her mom is buried at right now.
Yeah, that's always hard. Well, they won't
But that's
tell
what
them
happens
because
when you live in those
too many
lower states,
people.
though, with that water.
Well, they had a problem with. Well, she didn't get relocated because of that. She got relocated because she had a lot of people that would go there and leave tributes and do seances and like vandalize the cemetery and stuff like that, which is totally wrong to do. But people, teens, whatever. So they had a lot of that going on. So they relocated her for, I guess, the safety and preservation of her body. There is some stories that suggest she's not in a grave anymore. She's in one of the crematorium vaults. Yeah.
That's where I want to be buried. I don't want to be buried in ground.
Oh, you spent 3 months there. I bet that was nice. I don't think I'll be able to spend that long there, but just like a weekend would be nice to walk up and down the strip.
That's a long time, 3 months. And
they relocated it, and both sites have a lot of haunts now. When I lived in Virginia, I lived in a small town called Hampton, which is right before you cross the Tidewater Bridge. And there's a cemetery there. It's a very small, quaint cemetery that's very old. And on the beach that's near it, that's where Blackbeard supposedly landed all those years ago. The famous pirate. He supposedly went there several times throughout his life and landed on that beachfront that was right there. And they had like a Blackbeard festival, and it was like a really neat experience. And Pocahontas was actually buried in that cemetery too, although under her English name. It was a very interesting place to live. I enjoyed it. To go to this little bookstore there that had like these very, very old vintage books. It's a very neat place to do. It's like a little itty bitty small town in the midst of all these big cities. I loved my house there. I had a little colonial house. I want a 3-story bonfire with a body on top and the 7 days of games and festivals. That was my husband's. His birthday is this month, so he takes over the entire month, and his dream is to have like a huge bonfire and party. Probably last more than 7 days.
Oh, we got to do Burning Man. Are you talking about for his birthday? Oh my god, we should do Burning Man for his birthday. That would be so fun.
We probably get it. The fire department already comes over my house enough because we burn stuff. And
so perfect during fire season, but yeah, Burning Man.
My neighbor calls the cops on me all the time because we burn stuff, and I guess they're scared we're going to burn down their house.
Now we know what man to burn. The Burning Man.
It was so hilarious. The last time we came over, the fire company came over, right? The fire company is like, they're like, hey, you can't burn stuff. You're not supposed to burn stuff. You can see it from inside the city. So I'm like, and he's like, and they're like, okay, we'll put it out for you. And then they're like, oh, you have buckets of water all over, and you have garden hoses. You got it. You actually did a very responsible fire. We're like, well, yeah.
Like, yeah, 2 fire signs having a responsible fire. Yeah, that is a little weird.
You want to hear a funny story?
I don't want to be cremated. I want to be frozen like they did to Walt Disney, but my whole body, not just my head. I want to be placed in a bedroom and buried above ground, and people can they can come by and see me. I want to be
buried in the field. I want to be buried in the field behind my house. You want to hear a funny story? Okay. I used to go to all these pagan festivals. I still do, but not as much as I used to. But when I was a lot younger and I only had one child, I was a single mom for a while. And what I did to support myself was I did the Renaissance circuit. So I went all up and down the East Coast doing nothing but Renaissance festivals. And one of the things we used to sell was what we called bomb cherries, and we would basically take some type of alcohol, usually vodka or 151, and we'd fill a jar with cherries, like the huge, like the big maraschino cherries, and we would take the pit out of them, and we would soak them in alcohol, and we would leave them there for 30 to 60 days, and then we'd sell them at the festival so you could eat drunken cherries. Well, because I was a festival worker and I had a booth and everything, it was customary after the grounds closed that everybody would get together. They'd have a big bonfire, and you'd drink all night and be like heathens or whatever. Well, I had a little trailer that I stayed in, so I was like really comfortable with my daughter. But we would always go out, and we would party after. Well, one night we were like dancing, because that's what you do at festivals, and we're eating these cherries. I fell in the bonfire and like singed half of my hair.
Okay, so no bonfires or Burning Man with Sarah. She's got to stay behind a gate, like a little fence area that she cannot cross over, like a playpen.
Yes, that's what I need. It was a fun time though. I never had a bad experience at any of those festivals. I think even when it rained, it wasn't that bad because I had my little camper that I could go into. So it was really cool. It taught me a lot. I owned a house at the time as well. So that's actually how I paid my mortgage payment and stuff. I'd go to these festivals and I'd make really decent money. We sold a lot of things. I worked with a couple other people, and we had a booth, and we sold like a whole bunch of different things at our booth. Like, one of the ladies sewed a lot of things. So she sold Renaissance garb. I made like a homemade dog treats and little trinkets, and I'd sell stones and bones and stuff that I'd carved and worked on. And then I do tarot readings, past life regression, and all that lovely stuff, the energy healing. It was a really, really fun time in my life. I don't know that I'd ever go back to it. It was kind of nomadic, and I really like to have a staple that is my home. So I kind of like, now that I'm like settled down, I know what I'm doing, but it was definitely an experience that I wouldn't trade for the world. Oh, cool. Um, that is neat. They trace your great aunt back all the way back to the Mayflower in England. I actually sell teacups from England all the time. I get them from the
Oh,
estate sales.
oh my God, that'd be so awesome to have a teacup from England.
I
We
have
may we
several.
may have we may have a guest joining us on the stream here. I'll know here in just a moment. I I gotta go pee, and I will be right back. So I'm pretty sure Sarah knows how to entertain herself. The rest of us we're still learning.
Yeah, I just kind of talk to myself, and pretend I pay attention to what you guys say here and in the comments, make you feel like you're
Oh,
special because I call out your name.
well,
Uh,
no,
what are
but
your
you'll
college
always
studies?
you're really gonna have something
You-
to talk about. But yeah, that's really cool. I would love to have a teacup from England. That'd be so awesome.
I collect teacups, so I have a bunch of them up on my shelf over here because I do tasseomancy, which, if you're not familiar with what that is, that's reading the tea leaves. And it's so funny because when people come over, I have to teach them how to drink tea, because most people don't drink the loose leaf tea. When you do tasseomancy, you can't drink tea that's in a tea bag because you won't have the leaves to read. So you have to put the loose tea into the cup, and you have to kind of drink it. And when you drink it, you kind of filter it through your teeth so you don't get any of the leaves into your teeth. And then you put that, and when it's all gone, you put the little saucer up on top of it, and then you flip it over so that all of the leaves come out of the cup, and it always just leaves a little bit along the side. So and the bottom, and that's actually the part of the tea leaves that you read. A lot of people just drink it and leave all of the tea leaves in there, and that's actually not the most preferred method. I don't want to tell anybody they're wrong, because there's different ways of reading tea leaves, but that's actually the preferred method. It's easier to read because you don't have so much tea in the way. Oh, that's cool, Annette, that your husband's aunt reads tea leaves. I really like it. Basically what you do is you just look at
Yeah,
the
tea
tea
leaf reading is
leaves,
fucking phenomenal. Like
and
it's amazing.
you look for little symbols that you see in the leaves. Each symbol means something different, and when you have different correlating symbols, it means different things. So it's kind of like reading tarot cards, except you're reading little messages in the tea leaves. So I like reading that. It's really fun. If you've never had it done, I highly recommend you guys doing it. If you live local, I do it locally. Oh, Andrea, you have lineage from the Mayflower too? Man, everybody, see, look, we all must be related in some way. So many of us have relatives from the same area. See how close we are, even though we're so far apart? We have like our own little family going on here. I always find that interesting. I spent a long time doing the genealogy of my family. My dad's side, I can't do really much because nobody had birth certificates. My dad didn't even have one until he was much older because he was born at his house, but his parents didn't have any birth certificates. There's only references of them being Native American hoodlums in the local newspaper. But my grandmother's side, they kept very diligent records. My grandmother was from Ireland, but her family actually immigrated from Scotland to Ireland, but you can't tell her that. But I actually traced it back to like the 1500s because they kept such good documentation over there. They wrote everything down. They wrote all of the ancestry, all of the lineage. And other cultures like the Native American culture, they didn't write a lot of it down. So it's really hard to trace uh, some of your roots back, depending on what they are. But we are lucky that there's so many records that are readily available today, because I couldn't imagine doing this before we had sites like ancestry.com and other family tree sites. Hi, Laura. We just shared out, and if you're just joining us, you could share too. And we were just kind of, shooting the shit while we were waiting for Melanie to get back from using the restroom.
Actually, I haven't gone. I haven't gone just yet. I'm assisting. I'm helping somebody with some assistance, but so yeah, but I'm still here. I was gonna chime in and say hi, Laura, but you beat me to it. So hello, Laura.
Melanie just leaves me to yak. So if there's anything you guys want to talk about, definitely write it down.
We do have a topic tonight. We do have a topic tonight. Remember?
Yes, but you have to do topics too. You're supposed to be talking about the moon associated with them.
I will, but you know what though? But why not? But it's Leo season, and why not start with the person who attracts the most who actually attracts Leos worse than I do?
I do know a lot of Leos.
Yeah, so do I. I know a lot of fire. Well, I like fire signs though.
I just like fiery signs. They just help me glow a little bit.
And then you have that moon in the 11th house, which just looked right in your 5th house and said, "I'm going to give this woman lots and lots of children." Yeah. So, and you're also married. And you're married to a Leo. It's Leo season, and it's about romance. Love. I mean, come on now. So why not with that?
I know. I have to say that I'm obligated.
Yeah. So I've noticed with Sagittarius is it's either love or hate with the Leo. They either completely love Leos or they completely hate Leos.
Well, I think I have a love-hate relationship with them because I love all of them, Leos. But there are days that I'm just like, oh my God, you are driving me insane.
Luxana, oh my God, I called Andrea, almost called her Luxana. Andrea, you just have to make time. You just literally have to make time.
What did she say? I have to go back and do more of my family tree.
She's saying, please shoot my ass for not listening.
I wish I want to do. Yeah, you just got to make time. I'm a different kind of person. I probably have way too high of expectations of myself, and it is really hard for me to go to bed at the end of the day if I don't have everything that's on my list. Like I literally write a list at the beginning of the day, and I have to do everything.
Yeah, I used to do that too. I need to start doing that again. I'm the same way.
And I'm like, I am like super crazy, and I like double book myself. Sometimes I triple book myself, and I have to do everything because I can't not do it. Net says she has a granddaughter who's fascinated by the pendulum. I'm going to help her make her own. Oh, that's so cool. One thing that's really inexpensive to make a pendulum out of is the little seashells that are kind of like cone shaped. If you go to the beach at all, you can find them. But I have a couple that I helped my kids make out of them. But you can really make them out of anything you find around the house. My kids like to make them, and they'll use them as pendulums.
Okay, now that is a hot pick.
What is?
Oh, I'll keep our resident Stevie Wonder. You can't see the pic. That's a really hot pic. That's a good. Christy has finally it's joined us, and she's a Leo, so it's perfect. So we've got a Leo on for Leo season to talk about love, romance, and all the fun stuff. Yes,
Laura says, me being Taurus, he gets so frustrated all of the time. I can see that. Tauruses are a little frustrating. My sister
I think when the Taurus and Leo are together, that's kind of funny because the Leo does piss the Taurus off.
Andrea says it's so hard with only 3 days to do things I want to do. Everyone takes up time. Everyone takes up my time. I know that feeling, Andrea. I work usually Friday, Saturday, Sunday, and Monday outside of my home. So I only have 3 days as well. And I have 6 kids and I have a little homestead that I have to do stuff on every day. I'm like, oh my God, how do I do all this stuff? You just got to find the time to do it. I have so many beads and pendulums. That's good, Annette. Then it shouldn't be a problem teaching your granddaughter.
Here, Sarah just hit on something that's a very Leo theme. She said she's got how many kids? If you've noticed, anybody that has a strong Leo in their chart or any aspects to their fifth house will have a lot of children. Just for an example, Angelina Jolie has North Node in her fifth house. The North Node if the house it's in or the house it's across from will cause somebody to have a lot of children. And then Sarah's chart screams twins all over it, and she has twins.
Yeah, I have twins, and I never thought I was going to have any. I had a premonition when I was younger that I was going to have twins, but after I had like several of my children, I'm like, I don't see twins coming.
And Andrea, you have an 11th house moon in Libra, just like Sarah does, and you have a conjunct Pluto. The only difference though is your Pluto conjunct your moon. That's why you're like a walking, talking, like just like oozing, just like sexuality. Like that's the reason why I call you Howling Kitty.
It's so funny. You want to know what my husband calls himself? He calls himself the egg splitter.
Oh my God.
Because I have identical twins, which means that the egg actually split. So that's it's hilarious. He cracks me up.
Everybody has Leo in their chart. Everybody has everything in their chart. It's just whatever is more stronger than the other. But so you have your 11th house moon aspects into the 5th house because the moon only aspects one direction, sun to one direction, Venus and Mercury aspect one direction. So wherever those planets are at, it's going to highlight the opposite house. So if you have an 11th house moon, it's going to amplify. It's going to look into the 5th house of children because we look at the 5th house when we're looking at looking for like children. If we want to know about your childhood, we'll look at the 4th house, and then but when it comes to your children, we look at the moon and 5th house. So everybody has Leo in the chart. Everybody always asks that. You have everything. Everybody has everything. The same thing in the chart. Just some have more of one than the other. There you go.
Take a break for a second, and let's explain to them how they have everything in their chart. If you're looking at an astrology chart,
Sarah, the low-key astrologer who tries to pretend. No, don't let her fool you. She knows a lot about astrology. She just doesn't show it off.
I only know a little bit. But if you're looking at an astrology chart,
bullshit.
Just about everybody.
She knows at least maybe to a little bit of advanced astrology. Don't let her lie to you.
Maybe a tiny bit. Now, if you're looking at one of the charts that Melanie has created for you, what you will see that it looks like a face of a clock. And there is all of the signs in every chart. Now, where you have those lines and those conjuncts and you see where the moon is, when you read the actual words of it and you see the little lines that crisscross, that shows where things are in your chart based at that time. Usually it's at the time of your birth, but you can do it per the day or per a specific time or just depending on what type of chart you're doing.
You can pull a birth chart on something that you just bought.
Yes, you can pull because it's when you just do it for that day. Now the birth chart is when you were born. So when you're doing that astrology, that's generally what everybody is talking about. So you have all of those zodiac signs in your chart. It's just how much they correlate to your personality. So if you have more lines in one area, you have a bigger correlation in that particular area. Let's say you were born in the month of Leo and you have a lot of other little lines in Leo or a little lines in Sagittarius. That just means that you are more drawn to those personality aspects of that chart. It doesn't mean that you don't have the other aspects in your chart. It just means that those are going to be the more dominant ones. Mel sometimes forgets to tell this to people because they don't understand that everybody has every zodiac sign in their chart. It's just how much of that sign affects you is the placement of where your sun sign is, where your moon sign is, how many little lines and connections you have within.
Right, and a lot of people get so strung up on their sun sign. They're like, "Oh my god, my sun sign, my sun sign, my sun sign." Well, in Vedic, we can give a fuck about your sun sign because we go off of all the signs through different charts. And in Vedic, it's not your sun sign that's important; it's your rising and your moon because it's your mind and your persona versus your soul that everybody it's your soul. Nobody can see it. But a lot of people get really upset, like in other charts that they get pushed back to another sign. It's like, but you already have that in your chart. And so wherever you have planets
Yeah.
at, that's going to be the hyper focus of your life in this time. But you have everything you have in your chart, everybody else has it in their chart too. It's just how much of the energy of it you have. So like the sun, like if you're born during Leo season, you're going to have a Leo sun. If you're born during Virgo season, you have a Virgo sun. But a lot of people get stuck and hung up on just their sun sign when you're actually more of your rising sign, your moon sign. And a lot of times people will play off of other placements in their chart than they will their sun sign. So again, that's where they kind of messed up astrology through like newspapers and the media and all that, because they only hyper focus on, no, you're more than just your sun sign. You're all the planets. It's all you. So within, so without.
The other thing you have to take into consideration is that your zodiac chart is like a clock. Just like a clock changes every hour, your zodiac sign shifts every month. So you're still the same sign that you were born in, but what month we are in correlates differently on your chart. So it skews everything a little bit. So certain times of the year, you may be more apt to act in a manner of like a typical Gemini, or a typical Scorpio. It just depends on where you are at that time.
Your solar return will tell you.
In relation to where your birth chart is. And yes, it is called a solar return, but the name of it isn't important. It's important that you guys understand the concept that as the year changes, your zodiac sign, the sign that you're born with doesn't change, but how the other signs affect you in your life are very different from the time of your birth to now. So, and it changes not only on the year,
through the signs.
Yeah, it changes not only on the year, but on the month of the year that we're in too. That's why
exactly
based on astrology and horoscopes. That's how they work. But most people just hyper focus on what they were born at, where that's not the only thing that's important when it comes to the zodiac. You have to realize that it's just as subjective to time as anything is, as a tarot reading. If I did a tarot reading on you today, it'd be different tomorrow.
But people don't know is like she says, it's right. It is a clock, because every minute that clock is turning. Every minute that rising sign is changing to another degree.
Yep.
And when it goes into when it hits like 29 degrees, or like at a 29 every minute, and then it's going to go into the next sign. So it literally works like a wheel of a clock. And then people don't realize is, you may be like, for example, you're a Cancer, Andrea, but most people will progress through two to 2.5 zodiac signs before they die. So every year your sun is progressing a degree into the next sign. Like me, I'm a progressed Pisces. Most people, like I said, like 2.5 signs. So when I die, my sun would have progressed 2.5 or 3 signs ahead. So you're born a Cancer, but the energy, the progression of your life and how everything works is your temperament and your personality will also progress and change, and how you handle things in life. So you're all of the signs, but it's just where we're at in the collective and where we're at in the transit will also influence. So a lot of people don't realize that either.
What I think is very interesting is doing astrology on people who you knew very well that have passed. So you do it at the time that they were born, and you pick a point midway through their life and do the astrology chart there, and then you do it at the time of their death. And the reason why I like doing those, and just for my own information,
I like doing those too. I love death charts
because you see how their personality changes throughout their life. When they were young and when they were a child, they acted a certain way, but then they go through a couple solar returns, and in the middle of their life, they're acting a different manner. It's all in the growth. And then at the time of their death, they're different. Their personality traits are a little bit different than they were throughout the rest of their life. Some of it's through age and experience, but astrologers believe a lot of it has to do with the position of the stars, the sun, and the moon at the time of these locations, which science shows that they do play a role on how people act in their interactions here on Earth, as well as other natural things that happen on Earth are reliant on them. Ruth, I will add your name to our reading list. We're going to do them after some of the education that we're doing. But that's just something neat. I know we weren't planning on talking about astrology in depth, but I feel it's important that everybody understands where it's coming from. Oh, hi, Beck. A lot of people.
Is that Rebecca? Rebecca, where the hell have you been, Rebecca? We've been waiting. Damn it.
We've been waiting.
Damn Leos.
Okay. And if y'all have any questions, just jot them down and we will answer them. And if you want a reading, of course, jot your name down, put your name down and your birth date if we don't already have it, and we will
Yep. So we're
with the
through
year.
your birthday.
And we will
So
get into the readings after.
So we're gonna start with Christy, who is a Leo sun with a Libra moon and a Cancer rising, a late degree Cancer rising. So therefore, her sun actually is in her first house versus her second house. So she is a first house sun, and people that have a first house sun are usually people that are supposed to shine bright in this life, and people are to take notice. That's a very Leo.
No pressure, huh?
No, none at all. None at all.
I'm
Well,
supposed to be great.
Sarah's a first house sun too. She's a Scorpio, right? She's a late degree Scorpio rising, but she's she's very Sagittarius because she's got a huge stellium of planets in Sagittarius in her first house. She is also a first house sun.
I never feel pressure though. I just don't have that in me to feel that pressure really.
And I just realized that you guys both have Libra moons. Interesting.
What does that mean? A Libra moon?
That means that but when you were born, the moon was going through transits through the sign of Libra. So if you have a Libra moon, that means for one, people that have like Libra sun, moon, or rising, it's ruled by Venus. They do have a beauty to them. They do have an allure. They're usually very creative and artistic, and a lot of times have lots of babies because of that love romance thing.
Ironic.
So your mind. So basically, you have a mind of a Libra, where you have a soul of a Leo.
Oh wow.
Andrea says, "Look at my chart right now." Libras also tend to have like that kind of like just kind of go with the flow type of mentality.
They're very diplomatic people, and they can always see two sides of things, and they always try to bring in both perspectives. That's why they say they make Geminis and Libras are supposed to make really good like marriage counselors because they are able to see both sides. But Libras are about that balance. Even though they're the most imbalanced of the signs, they balance other people out, and they're just very diplomatic. They like to have that peace.
Oh, Andrea said she's looking at her chart right now. I read it wrong. Sorry, Andrea. Yeah, they do. I know that about myself. I really like to keep that peace, so I will do whatever it is to keep things mellow and cool. Unless I'm the one throwing a fit, then all hell breaks loose.
And Libras are also they're the sign of we looked at Libra in the seventh house because they're originally that seventh house energy for relationships. That's why Libras do really well in partnerships and relationships because that's what their sign represents. And they have a thing like partnerships. So your seventh house and Libra, that's literally like everybody but you. That's like everybody else in the world. And Libras do really well with like partnerships and business and all that. Like they work really well with other people because they're able to put aside that Aries energy and put in like more of a. They're really good at that we aspect. But I mean, don't get me wrong, you get some Libras that could be in that whole me aspect, but they just do really good in partnerships, and they're really good for all forms of partnerships, from like business to relationship to personal, because they have a very objective way of being sometimes.
Yes, that's true. Oh, Andrea says she's missing her 2 Capricorns right now.
And another thing too, Libra is an air sign, but they to me they don't come off like as they're very highly communicative, but to me they're more of a mix of like a Virgo Scorpio to me because everybody always wants to blame Scorpio for being the sex addict. I'm sorry, Libra's the sex addict. Is actually the sex addict of the zodiac. They just blame it on Scorpio, and it's how to put this, like it's that whole Venus thing going on. So
like that manipulating energy though when it comes to sex.
So if you ever look at Libra females, they're kind of like that girly tomboy. Like they're the girls that can wear like the jeans and a t-shirt and leave the house and just be completely natural, like just beauty in their whole natural essence. And to where like a Libra male, they'll have like a prettiness to them. Like a lot of Libra males will get accused of being like, or get asked if they're gay or not, because they have like they have that prettiness, they have like that Venus energy to them, but they like I'm sorry, but Venus does not make ugly people. That's why Tauruses and Libras have like that essence to them because of that Venus. But like it's weird how with men and women and that are Libras, it's a flip. Like the women can pull off like that girly tomboy, where the men are very masculine, but they still have like a feminine aspect to them. And that's what. And actually, I'm gonna behave. I'm not gonna talk crap about Libra males tonight.
For once. My husband said Sarah wants peace, but she gets with me. Yeah, Shane is a little bit confrontational. Beck says sexual energy rocks. And that's okay, but Beck, that you got busy with kids. I know they can be so annoying sometimes, right?
And another one that's that really embraced that Leo energy. So
yeah, Beck's got a birthday coming up, guys.
Yes, on the Lionsgate.
On Sunday, right? Is that right? Yes.
Yep.
Your birthday's Sunday, right? Yes, I think your birthday is Sunday.
And Chrissy's birthday is 2 days after the Lionsgate on the 10th.
It is mine and my oldest son.
Oh yeah, that's right. You share a birthday with one of your kids. Now,
and then my husband's birthday is on the 16th, and my stepson's birthday is on the 18th.
Oh, they were back to back too. So having your own little softball team of kids, how is it?
It's a lot. I have 5. My oldest is 17, so she helps out a lot.
Well, geez, maybe your 17-year-old can talk to my 18-year-old because I think she forgot how to help.
I just use the I will shut your cell phone off.
Well, she has a job, so I'm sure she just pay it herself.
See, we still use mom's money. We have a job, but we still use mom's money.
Oh no, don't get me wrong. She uses mom's money. She's totally my 18-year-old daughter, love her to death. She is totally self-sufficient, living in a trailer on my property, using my electricity, my water, my shower, eating my food. But she's totally self-sufficient. But I pay all of her bills.
I hear that. I do. I love all mine. I have 2 boys, and I never had brothers growing up, so I'm learning a lot.
I have 4 boys and 2 girls, and then I have a stepson who's a boy as well. So they're 18, and then my stepson is about to be 18 on the 18th. And then I have a 12-year-old, an 11-year-old, a 7-year-old, and 2 5-year-olds.
Oh, wow.
Beck says hers are 25, 24, 17, 11, and 10. Andrea said she's moving in with me. Well, joy, the more the merrier. You babysit?
You know, Andrew's one of those that can be on this thing too because she's got a little softball team of herself as well. But again, she's got an 11th house and I'm looking into her 5th.
We got chickens and rabbits. Well, her
and Andrew's second born is my future ex-wife, just so everybody knows.
Yeah, Andrea says her kids are 26, 24, 21, 20, and 17. Yeah, we have lots of fun things at my house. We own a couple acres of land, and we have some rabbits and some chickens and some ducks and some guinea hens and some dogs. And
Rebecca says, I guess I babysit. I sit on the babies. And Andrea may have given birth to him, but I think the second born's actually the mom. The serious Capricorn.
Well, I definitely wear the pants in my house.
Oh no, when my kids, I take advantage of being child. Well, I have a North Node and Leo, so I can act like a child if I want to, and I get really really immature, and I do it annoyingly, purposely, just to piss my kids off to let them know, yeah, this is what I had to deal with. So now it's your turn. Now I get to be the child. They hate it.
Oh, you guys want to know what I'm doing with my kids right now for school? We are reading this lovely book that I found at the grocery store, which is not all of them, but as many of you know, we live in San Antonio, Texas, where it's a very historic city. So there's lots of local landmarks that are very, very old. And so we bought this haunted little history book just of local folklore and haunted places. And then we're reading it. We're about halfway done now. And then at the end of this month, I'm taking all my kids, should be fun, downtown, and they have a what they call a haunted ghost tour, where you get to go and you get to see a lot of the places that are in downtown San Antonio that are supposedly haunted. It's an hour-and-a-half long tour. So we're going to take the kids and do that. And they're super excited. And they're really excited because bedtime's at 8:30. And this event doesn't start until 9. So they get to stay up late. Beck says, I'm the boss, the only boss. 2 rules. The boss is never wrong, and the boss is ever wrong. I don't know. See rule number 1.
I was gonna say, yeah, see number 1.
That's pretty much my rule too.
See damn fire signs, I swear.
I know, Andrea, doesn't that seem fun? My husband doesn't think it seems like fun. He's like, exhausting. You're spending all of this money on going on a tour of downtown San Antonio. I've seen downtown San Antonio. Well, yes, but we've never had the haunted tour, and the kids are so excited. And then I'm going to try to do, my husband and I really want to start going to like some of the haunted sites and do like a little bit of a paranormal investigation, and then I'll post it up on a YouTube channel that we're going to make, but I just haven't done it yet. And one of the first places I want to go is called the Onion House.
Oh, Rebecca, you missed it. We were talking about Burning Man. That's what we should do. That's what we should do for Sarah's husband, is have a Burning Man at their house. That'd be so fun.
Yeah, my husband thinks that the month of August was created for him and nobody else.
Well, that's how I feel about January. It's my birth month.
Well, I just care about my one day. But, you know, I never age on my birthday. I'm still 21. Ask any of my kids, they'll tell you. You want to go to your husband's house?
I used to love Lizzie Borden. She's like the best. She's like, that's true, your husband is a genius. Oh my God.
Oh geez, just overinflate his already overinflated ego, Rebecca. Thanks.
Oh, I was telling Sarah the other was it yesterday? I went and I took a little peek at her husband's draconic chart, and it just made so fucking much sense. So in his draconic chart, which is a chart that shows like your true essence, like your soul and your higher self, like because over time, like incarnating and living, your soul develops a personality just like like your higher self would, because they're very much interconnected. And he is an Aquarian sun with the Leo moon. I'm like, Jesus Christ, because when you get further into astrology, you learn that the moon is actually more of your soul than the soul. So like the moon is like the soul within the soul, and I'm like, yep, that's a true Leo right there.
Leo, true and true.
And so because he's a Leo with an Aquarian moon, but so it's basically his draconic, it's flipped. So the Aquarian sun with the Leo moon versus a Leo with the Aquarian moon. Yeah.
So it's basically like a reflection.
Yeah, pretty much. Yeah, he's pretty much him. That's him. But his chart also says that he's very alpha-like, and like when it comes to being an alpha, he's an alpha through and through.
Yeah, we definitely butt heads over that. I think he concedes to me most of the time.
See Sagittarian women though. That's a Sagittarian women thing. Like Sagittarian women are very alpha-like, and it's. Yeah, it's weird. It's weird to meet a Sagittarian female that's not got that alphaness to her. I think it's weird just any fire sign of a female not to have that alphaness to them and not have like that strong fire, because you guys are supposed to have that.
Yeah, to me, it's just hilarious because I have to be the one in charge in my house. I just can't not. And I mean, I'm not overly controlling. I just like to know what's going on. So like I plan everything out. And it's like, so everything goes through me. And I really think if I was anybody else, I don't think he would be okay with that. Because he's got to be the one that's in charge and sets the rules and everything. But he kind of like lets me just have it. So I feel all like a little princess in my house. I'm like, whoop, whoop.
Well, like the home, your home is your kingdom, your castle, and everything. Well, that's like with women, we spend all the time cleaning it and decorating it, so of course we want to rule over it.
Yeah, I am organized chaos back. I mean, I have a very interesting way of doing things, and it has to be that way, or I can't handle it. I like to be over busy. I like to double book myself. Like my husband hates that I do that. And I'm like, I'm sorry, I have to get it done. But to me, it's part of life. It has to be that way for me. Otherwise, I'm not happy. If I'm not super busy, I can't handle it. It's like I lose my crap if I have nothing to do. But it works for me. Was there anything else you wanted to touch on, Mel, before we switch to doing readings? Mel, did she leave me unsupervised? Mel, where'd you go? Well, I guess she is out of the building for a second. So I guess
We
we'll
lost her.
We lost her. Mel said you had questions.
I booted myself. Just when you asked that, I booted myself out of the thing. I have a list of them. I put them in the group chat.
I know, but
not on StreamYard, but and Facebook.
I know, but if I go off here, it freezes me.
Well, hold on. I'll go grab them real quickly.
What else did you want to chat about?
Just the topics here. Let me go grab the I'll grab the list and post it.
Most of it's my own doing, but you know. Yeah, she does do that a lot. I put myself out of here all the time too. It's because that little X button is so close to the chat button. So when I switch on to see you guys' comments, I hit that little X button that boots me out all the time. I get so frustrated with that. They should really consider placing it someplace else. But they probably won't, because why would they do something that made sense? Mel said you had some questions, Christy. Did you have some questions?
Oh my goodness. I ask Mel questions all the time. I probably drive her nuts. And now
she can't think of any.
Yeah, I booted myself.
I know.
Yeah. Yeah, one person should not be left unsupervised. Okay.
Yeah, you left me unsupervised. So that's okay. I
can handle you don't need to be supervised. You don't like do crazy shit like I do, like light your hair or try to light your hair on fire. And you have more enough altars in your house.
As long as I do not have drunken cherries, I'm usually good.
Let me fix that.
Did you say Christy had questions, Mel, that you wanted answered on the show?
No, I did not. Where the hell am I?
You're right here. You're located on our live video. The date is now the 6th of August. It is 12:33. What other details do you need?
There, I posted it in the comments so that everybody can see them.
Oh, okay. Let me see. Okay.
I had them in a nice little list, but the thing won't let me list it. They just clumped it all together, and my OCD is going crazy.
Well, reality versus illusion is
basis of relationships, with relationships, romance, and
in regards to relationships. Well, that's even difficult to cover in relationships, because the reality of the situation is that any conflict you have within the relationship is both people's doing. The illusion is that it's one person's fault.
Right.
So it takes two to have any type of relationship, whether it's positive or negative, even within that relationship. Illusion is,
but reality and illusions too. There's a lot of illusions that people have coming into relationships versus what the reality of what it really is.
Oh,
so that covers a huge spectrum of things, the reality versus illusions. And then I have maturity versus immaturity, and then there's fairy tale thinking versus there's fairy tale thinking, unrealistic expectations, control freaks, past relationship traumas, one-sided relationships, which is narcissistic partners, couples, and the couples therapy. That was a list. But StreamYard lumped them all together.
Relationship, we have this kind of fairy tale that it's going to be perfect all the time. No relationship is perfect all the time. You have to have that conflict, because if you don't have that conflict,
There's no
you're
growth.
not going to be happy in that in any relationship, because you could only be complacent for so long before it gets mundane. That's why people kind of look for drama sometimes. That's why they kind of stir things up. You ever just have one of those days where you just say, I'm going to be pissed about this today. Normally it doesn't bother me, but today it's just going to piss me off.
You can tell that Sarah's been married for a long time.
Yes, I have been. But I love my husband most days.
But the one fire sign that's supposed to go through that has divorce issues is supposed to be Aries. They say that all Aries will at least marry at least twice in their life. But for the most part, most Aries that I know have.
That's because Aries has like this little bit of a conceited side where they won't concede. They won't allow anybody else to be right. So it can cause a lot of conflict in a relationship when you're with a partner.
This is coming from a Sagittarius.
Yes.
The Sagittarius' motto is, when I'm right, I'm right. When I'm wrong, I'm right.
Yes, that is my motto. What you saying, Mel?
So, which I think is kind of crazy, because I always thought that fire does well with fire if it's a good fire mix, So with you being a Sag and your husband being a Leo, it's like finding a balance between the two. But and I also think like fire and air does well together. But for a Leo and a Sagittarius to be able to, as long as you guys have like your placement, you guys have like really good placements in your charts that does show like the longevity of relationships, because yes, you guys are that fire sign, but you have 11th house moons, so that also gives like that balance to because the 11th house is like networking and friendships and other people, so it kind of tames down like that like the bad parts of the ego.
Yeah, we have a spammer, Mel.
Oh, I'm catching it. Happiness, joy, happiness.
For a long time.
Oh, and that's gonna get me going on Libra males.
Okay, what did she say? I already know Libra males are. But which other male signs tend to be manipulative? I think
Sagittarius males, Libra males, and
I think also Aries males can be.
Yeah, it can't. It depends. It kind of depends, because sometimes Aries males they don't give a fuck enough to manipulate, because they can be really.
They give crap about being right. So if you have an Aries male that you have developed a relationship with, and you have like a lot of discussions and stuff with this individual, they have to be right. They have that mentality that they're not wrong. And to a degree, most of what they say can be right, but some of it is subjective. But they fail to see the other side of the coin sometimes. So they can be manipulative in terms of getting you to believe that they're right when maybe they're not.
Well, the thing with Libras is males, they can be smooth talkers, really good smooth talkers, but that can go for any of the air signs though.
Yeah, well, that's because Aries signs, that's what they are. Abby, to get a reading, you just jot down your name, say that you want a reading, give us your birth dates, and if you want on a specific topic, just let us know. We do take donations, which the information is in the pinned post.
Now, to answer Annette's question, what other male signs tend to be manipulative? I'm going to have to throw it out there. Virgo males can be manipulative just as well, but different. Yes. But different than like Sag and Libra males, though. It's different. It's a different type. Scorpio males can be.
They do it to boost themselves.
Well, condescending is a sign that's very much is correlated in with Virgo. So, and Scorpios, male or female. I mean, Scorpios have like a different, but when they manipulate, it's different.
Scorpios are really manipulative. They're more like
it's not really manipulative. It's all I know is if they ask you a question, you better give them the right answer, because they already know the truth.
It's more deceitful or like alluring. They're kind of like just kind of like the shady car salesman. That's what I think of.
But it also depends on where they're at in their evolution of evolving, because Scorpios, there's that one sign that's supposed to evolve and into like higher states of being. So it depends on if you're working with if it's a dark-sided Scorpio or a light-sided Scorpio. But that goes with all signs. All signs have a dark and a light side to them. And some people kind of way more into one or the other, but we all can, we can be light-sided but still have some of those dark traits. So it also just depends on where the person's at in their, I guess, in their personal growth as a person. And cancer, cancer, cancer males can be manipulative too, but it's different too. It's a different type of how they manipulate and what they will be. But cancer males are also known to have double families too,
But
or known to have have
too
another
are
family on
kind
the
of
side.
they manipulate in the terms of woe is me. They tend to be kind of like hyper focused on them being the victim and that type of manipulation.
No, that's a water sign thing. A lot of water sign males Sagittarian males too do that. They like to play,
I've seen
the
Sagittarian
victim.
males do as well. I definitely have seen it more common with Cancer males.
Yeah, or a male that has a lot of cancer in their chart.
Yeah.
Yeah, I do talk fast. That's why you gotta listen fast. You gotta turn the speedometer up on your ears. I'm just kidding.
Sorry, Abby. We will be moving on to the readings in a little while. We just have a couple other things we want to cover. Controlling. Annette wanted to know the signs that are controlling.
Ooh, fire signs.
Definitely Leo's can be Sagittarius.
Yeah.
Anything that
Fire signs
is,
for sure.
yeah. Virgo.
Pisces can be Virgo controlling.
Scorpio can be, but they're not always.
Yeah. Not as bad as like fire and and Cancer can be controlling too. Yeah, Cancer can be controlling too.
Do ladies always put us on the spot? But that's okay. I like it. I can usually think well on the fly.
So Abby's she's a Taurus born on a 1. Okay.
Yes, May 1st of 87. Is there anything else you wanted to cover before we went on to doing the readings?
Let me go back to the little list here. Oh, we have and then let's see. Control freaks. Oh, past relationship traumas. That's another thing. A lot of people will bring in a lot of their past relationships into the new relationship, and that could cause a lot of issues because they automatically which here's the thing though, like in astrology, we believe that you always date pretty much the same type of person, but the thing is getting into a higher spectrum or a higher elevation or a higher tier of that type of person. So breaking the cycle, you gotta know how to break the cycle, but you'll always be drawn to like a certain aspect of a person and always date the same kind. It's just basically getting into somebody who is more evolved of what you've dealt with. So like breaking that cycle. But for the most part, you are what you are attracted to, and you are, it's like almost like a predestined thing, but not. It's hard to explain, but you do tend to gravitate towards somebody who has the same characteristics or aspects as like other people that you've dated.
Okay, I have to say something that's probably going to tick Mel off a little bit.
Well, no, if you want to disagree with me, that's fine.
No, I'm just picking on you, but this is you might have a different opinion on this. A lot of people, when they go into a relationship, they are hyper focused on the zodiac signs of the individual that they're going in a relationship with. While I say it's okay to look at that sign, it should not be a hard pass or fail as to whether
it's a deal breaker for me if you're a male Sagittarius. That complete deal breaker. I don't care if you're a male.
See, this is where me and Mel differ a little bit. I think that we should give anybody a chance because there are people that don't act like they're they would typically based on their zodiac signs. Now, it is more prevalent. You should definitely use that information to your advantage, but you should you shouldn't bring past experiences with a particular sign into the relationship, because then you're kind of damning it before it began, and it might have worked out. It might have been a good relationship with you. So I think that a lot of people pay a lot of attention to things that they necessarily don't understand. Melanie has been doing astrology charts for years and years. She has a very, very good understanding of what the zodiac signs actually mean, and she incorporates other aspects than just the just the moon sign or the sun sign or your rising sign into it when she does a chart on a person that she's going to date. If you plan on using these types of information to base how well you would be suited with a particular person, of course it's not wrong, but you should definitely seek the help of somebody that knows and understands them a little bit better than your average Joe off the street, because you're not going to get a good reading for that person just knowing what sign they are.
Because some people do evolve past like those underlining things that like, because like all the signs will have similar traits, and like even when it comes to negative traits, but there are some people that do work through those negative aspects. So like for example, like I had a huge thing with Pisces, huge thing, like and when I one day I was told, whatever zodiac sign that you have a problem with, look to see where they're at in your chart, and if you keep having issues with that, a lot of times, like if you keep having issues with the same zodiac sign, a lot of times it's not that sign, it's how you're handling, basically what Sarah said, how you're coming into the friendship or the relationship. And so what I had to do was I had to learn more about Pisces on like a deeper level, like a deeper understanding of them. And I did a lot of research into it, and because I was always getting all these Pisces in my life, and it was driving me insane. And so then once I really took the time to get to know a Pisces, like actually truly get to know one without all the the blockages of like what I've issues I've had with other Pisces, it totally changed my relationship, and I totally look at Pisces completely different. And that Pisces was actually Kiva Kid.
And that's what you have to do. You have to move. Yes, take some of that information with you, but kind of put it on the back burner and let the relationship develop before you make those decisions, because not everybody has a hard, fast no when it comes to zodiac signs. Some people, like Melanie said, evolve past them. Sometimes you don't understand how that zodiac sign works, so you don't understand how to deal with them. It's all about thinking about things outside of the box.
Now, there was a time there where I had a problem with Sagittarius, but the only reason why I had problems with Sagittarius was when I was having problems with my mother. And so when I recognized that, then I was like, okay, I can't think that every Sagittarius is going to be like my mom. And the most part they are, but there's individual things that are different with every, because I know a lot of Sagittarius that are different, and that goes into like the whole moon sign rising. And a lot of times, and seeing Sagittarius is that one thing that gets projected on it. Well, Scorpio too, they get projected on a lot. And I picked up on that a few years ago with a Sagittarius friend of mine that, and Aquarius was really good for this too. Like they'll project not necessarily bad qualities, but they'll project certain things about themselves, like that they might see in the other person, and not realizing that it's a projection. But Sagittarius, they do deal with a lot of people projecting onto them on how they think they are versus how they really are. So that was something that I had to learn. That I had to learn firsthand when it comes to the zodiac signs.
I hope I don't butcher this name, but hi, Siobhan.
It's Siobhan.
Oh, I don't even know. How do you say it?
That's the other spelling for Siobhan.
Siobhan? Oh, I never would have guessed that. English is so crazy.
Siobhan? I learned that from watching a Sarah Michelle Gellar show with her twin was a Siobhan. Yeah. So.
Really? That's how you say Siobhan?
That's one of the other spellings of Siobhan. Yeah.
Oh my God! It does not look like that. Oh my God!
Yeah. It's cool. I know it's a badass name. I know. I love it. It's pretty. I love it.
I'm so sorry I butchered your name. I should have just asked Mel first. Siobhan.
Yeah, look like I love that name. Yes, and it's Irish.
So I apologize. I'm Irish too, but I apparently do not know Irish name spelling very well.
Yep. Yeah, Siobhan is it's a badass. You should research into the name, and then like it caught me too, and I was like, how the hell is that? The spelling of it. But it's kind of like one of those like when people spell Tiffany with like a PH instead of an FF, it's kind of like that, but different.
Yes. I am awful with names. I butcher names so badly. Oh, good. Yeah, I'm glad you're used to it. You doesn't make me feel so bad.
Yeah, but Siobhan, it's a very alluring, sexy, and mysterious. It's got a lot of really cool like energy around just the whole name of it. Yeah.
Anything else you wanted to touch on before we move on to the reading?
Let's see here. There was some more, but I think a lot of it can. I think it can be broken down into like more of like the subtopics that go into like more into detail, but that was just like a listing of just things I wanted to thought that would be kind of interesting to cover, and also
Out
too,
there.
for people to ponder on as well. When it comes to relationships, and not just like romance and love relationships, but even in your friendships. Like I have cried over more heartbreak from friends than I have from like a love partner.
Yeah, it's friendships in general, like any type of relationship can be difficult to navigate because you have to deal with other people's emotions and everybody thinks about things in a different manner, and it makes it very difficult to communicate and have those relationships.
And for me, my friendships are like I take them just as seriously as I do my partnership, like with my romantic partnerships. Like they're just very sacred. So of course, I think it's all the things that should apply in like a romantic relationship. I think should also apply when it comes to a friendship as well.
Yeah, even sometimes more so because sometimes you
Yeah,
share a lot of things.
more.
Like if you
Yep.
have a special friend that you share things with, like you maybe, not that you shit talk your partner, but our partners do things that make us upset sometimes, and you need to have somebody to kind of bounce what they're doing off
Yes, and
of.
that comes to the
But
sabotaging
it's
friend. You gotta
just
be careful about who you vent to.
Yes, you do.
yeah, and I think that's the hardest thing because then our friends only think that we think of our partner a certain way, and it's like you're just venting about them. So you need to be very careful and when you're navigating friendships like that, because you don't want the friend to go back and tell your partner. Not that you have an issue with telling your partner, but you weren't telling it to your friend to start any drama. You were just telling it to your friend because I had a shitty day, this is what happened, my husband pissed me off, and you expected that type of information to not get relayed back. You were just kind of getting it off your chest so that it doesn't cause a problem. Siobhan says, my grandmother named me from an actress on an old soap opera, Ryan's Hope. Oh, that's cool.
I love the name Ryan for a girl.
Yeah, that's really pretty. One of my mentors, when I was growing up, her name is Jeannie Ryan. Her middle name was Ryan. And
Yeah, I like
I
that.
always like that. So, anything else you want to cover before we move on
Yes,
to
yes.
reading?
One more thing I wanted to cover was I wanted to throw Christy back on the spot. I wanted to, yeah.
Get ready.
If there was anything particular that, so yes, if Christy
What?
had anything that she wanted to add in, or she wanted to anything
Uh,
ask or
I just
debate
think
on.
when it comes to friendships, oh, that's a tough one because I can
Well, I can go grab
honestly
my other
say,
cards.
like, I'm the type of Leo, I guess, like, once you cross me, I will cut you off, like, for life. I
Oh, that's
don't
a Leo
want,
thing.
like, it's
That's
like
Leos in
I take
general.
it personal because when I'm a friend to you, you're family to me. Like, I will ride for you, I will die for you, I will do time for you. So when one of my friends crosses me, it's like, bro, you're family to me because I take that really personal, and I will literally not talk to somebody for the rest of my life. And my mom would always say to me, you just got to let it go. You got to let it go, Christy. You can't be mad at everybody. You can't fight every battle. And it's like, I just got to the point where I got so tired of fighting all the battles that I just gave up. I don't need new friends. I don't need old friends. And I picked up and I left my hometown of my whole entire life, and I moved 40 minutes away and
I did
dropped
the
my
same thing
family.
40 minutes away.
Like, I dropped my family down and said, leave me the hell alone, everybody. And I'm telling you, it was the best thing I've ever done.
But
That whole thing with Leo, that's a very Leo thing. I tell people all the time, Leo, if you ever see the movie Meet the Parents and where Robert De Niro talks about that circle,
Yes.
that's Leo.
Yes.
That's like totally, you're in that circle. When you do anything wrong, you're out of the circle. You'll never get back in the circle. That's Leo all day.
I'm like that.
Are you? Oh, good.
I
I'm
moved
not alone.
2,000 miles away from my family.
Oh,
Yeah, me too.
wow.
Yeah, right
But
now I'm
what a
400
sorry
miles away from
country,
home.
man. I mean, I talk to them now, but there was a long time that I didn't talk to a lot of my family.
I'm gonna
But
have to move down.
I made my own family. I think that friends are a very important part of your life. I think you need to have a family, that friends. I created my own family. I have 6 beautiful children and a stepson, and I have friends down here that I've had for over 10 years, some of them over 20 years, and they are all family to me. And it takes a lot to really tick me off. I mean, my husband maybe a little bit less, but with his friends, with his true friends, he's a little more lenient. Where our circle is very, very small. We don't have hundreds and hundreds of friends. Now we do know hundreds and hundreds of people, but they're not friends. We have a very small, close-knit group of people that come over to our house on a regular basis and share our family with us. And they are family to me.
You know, but that's you have an 11th house moon. That's 11th house all day long, and Leo, of course, being the 5th house energy. So we're like Leos and Aquariuses, they share a lot of that same energy. Now, if you have a sun or a moon in like the 11th house, that instills a lot of that, like because Aquariuses, our friends are our family, because Aquarius is a sign of friendship, and the 11th house is friendship and networking. So that's a very Aquarian thing, but also it's a very Leo thing, because Leos do this, they're pulling in that Aquarian energy, and so it's like friends as family.
Yeah, my husband's very much like that too.
So, so both you and your husband having 11th house moons, it's like having an Aquarian moon. So it's you guys are very, very Leo Aquarius in your guys' just not only just in your relationship but in your charts.
And I mean, we don't have a lot of friends, but if our friends call us up and say, hey, we need your help with this, we're there. It doesn't matter what we're doing, we're there. And if we call up our friends and say, hey, this is going on, we need your help, one of them, 2 of them are there. I mean, of course, you always have somebody that can't do it because they might be sick, or they might have something that's going on that they just can't do it. But we're there. We do stuff for our friends and family.
Because yeah, your friends are your family. Like, so if I get to know, so because I take time to get to know somebody and understand them before considering them a friend. It's kind of like that trial basis. Do they make it in? Like where are they placed at in my life? But when I have established like that deep bond with somebody that I that deep connection with, it's family. It's like that, you have like that soul.
And for me, it's really hard to get out of my family. Like, you pretty much have to die. If I induct you into my family, you pretty much get out when you die. So if you want to leave, you better make that happen.
That's her late degree Scorpio rising talking right there, because like the mafia and organized crime and secret society and all that is seen through Scorpio in 8th house. So
I mean, I definitely have that little aspect to me. Like, once you're family, you're mine.
Yeah, I like that.
But you're mine. So I'm just like, no, you're mine, and I will have your back. Somebody starts crap with you, I'll be like, what are you doing?
Yeah, the right or die. Yeah, very much. I very much believe in the whole Bonnie and Clyde thing. You gotta rock it. Rock it to will fall off.
And it's so funny because my husband picks on me because I am not scared of anybody. And I am like, anybody that knows me knows that I'm like kind of naive. I didn't know that homeless people were really, I mean, I knew that there was homeless people, but I never really seen them until I was like well into adulthood. I never really seen a lot of the problems of the world. So I was very, very naive. So I knew that gangs existed, but I never really had any association with them. And my husband's like, I don't know how you made it this far in your life, because like somebody says something to me at the store, I'll say something back to them. And somebody does something.
No filter. That's Sagittarius.
I have no filter at all. I'm like, somebody says something rude to me, I'm gonna say something back. Somebody is doing something that I don't like, I'm gonna say, well, can you stop that? And my husband's like, you just can't go around saying that to people. I said, well, I've been doing it my whole life. And he's like, oh my gosh.
Yeah.
Because we lived in a really bad area for a little while. We were saving up to purchase the house that we have now. So we needed to live in an area where it was very inexpensive to live. So it was a very bad area. He's like, you just can't go over to people like that. I'm like, well, I just did. And he's like, oh my God. But now anybody that knows my husband knows that he's a very big and rough looking guy. My husband is about 6 foot. He weighs about 350 pounds. He's Native American and Hispanic, so he's got kind of darker skin. He's got really long, like jet black hair, and he's very scary looking. And he does security for a living. He's been everything from security at a bus stop, which he does now, to like a bouncer at like the worst bar in San Antonio. And he can handle himself very, very good. Me, not so much, but I don't have a problem opening my mouth. He's like, why you do this to me?
My mom used to tell me all the time, do you have to say everything that pops into your head?
Oh, she hit that little button. You know, that's you have an air sign moon, so that's where that comes from.
Oh,
you know, because air signs are communicative. You know, like they have to be able to process things through a lot of times through speaking or communication. It's so yeah, that's your Libra moon has to say something.
My son must have one too, because he just I walk into the store with him. He's 7, and I'll say, you say hi, you say bye, and that is it. Don't tell anybody your shoe is ugly, your shirt don't match. Like he walked
Oh my God, I love kids that are like openly honest like that. It's fun.
Yeah, he walked up to some old man at Walmart, and he looked at him and he was like, you're really, really old. And I went, Malachi Josiah. And he looks at me, he's like, what? I said, you can't say that to people, buddy. He goes, why? He knows when his birthday is, just like I do. And I'm sitting here and I'm going, oh my God, he's right. But no, buddy, no.
Yeah, when I was pregnant with Lexana, I had a little kid come up to me and tell me that I was fat. The mom like just freaked out. I was like, no, it's okay, because I mean, it's just kids can't help it. They're just they say what they mean.
He's my April Fool's Day baby, though. This happens all the time.
That's awesome. I think it's awesome.
I don't have a problem with what little kids have to say, just because they're so unfiltered and their energy is so pure. They don't mean anything by it at all.
Oh, yeah.
Now, when they get a little bit older, then it's like, okay, you need to learn to have a little bit of a filter. You can't go on telling people rude things.
Well, when I was pregnant with another time I was pregnant with I had this little boy, and he was in the car with his mom, and he goes, mommy, I want to go home with the black lady. I want the black lady to be my mom. The mom was so embarrassed. Like she turned around and she was so, and I'm like, no, it's okay, but yeah, she just like the look on her face, she was just horrified. But yeah, it was just cute. He's like, I want the black lady to be my mommy.
That's hilarious. I love little kids when they don't have like a filter on color, though. Like I don't have a filter on color, but I didn't see, like I grew up in a very small town. There wasn't a lot of people of different colors in my town. So when I moved to the city, I always sometimes I still do, like I love the way that the hair of Black women look. And it's just like, my hair can never look like that ever in my life. All the little braids, no matter how many times I braid my hair, it never looks good. So I was always jealous of that. Growing up, I always had like a little Barbie doll, and I always liked playing with like.
Everybody that has straight hair wants curly. Yeah. It's normal.
It's like my hair is straight, and this is like the only way it looks good. I can put it up in a hair tie, but it looks okay, but not. It just doesn't look that good.
I used to pay over $100 every 6 to 8 weeks to make my hair look like yours.
Oh my gosh! I know you always want what you don't have. Hey, I would love to get it. Tracy, I will put you on our list. We just need your birth dates. Why do I always feel sexual around Ben? Is he sending me sexual energy? Okay, I will add that to my list, Tracy. Okay, if we're gonna do readings, we should probably do them pretty quick because it's
it's kind of crazy. The name Ben. The name Ben actually does carry anybody with the like Ben Benjamins. They do carry an essence of an alluring, like very attractive sexual energy to them just within the name alone.
And okay, Tracy, we also need your birth dates.
So, did you see that Siobhan is an Aquarius, which is just even better because then that's that mysterious. Like okay. I was like so heartbroken when I was reading. I was reading an astrology book and it talked about how like Scorpio is the most mysterious of all signs. I'm like, no, it's not. It's like it's Aquarius, but no, it's Scorpio. I'm so jealous. We got another Taurus baby.
Okay.
We got Uranus. Well, Uranus is in Taurus, so and Tauruses are kind of getting their asses handed to them right now. They're not sure what to do, so I get why we get a lot of. We always get like a lot of like fire signs, like a lot of Aries, and like sometimes we get a lot of Tauruses, but You had to take 2 inches off your hair today? I need to reshave mine. Mine's growing back in quick.
My hair grows so slow. Why do you guys have fast growing hair?
Andrew's
I
like,
am
well, I graduated high
so
school in the 90s already.
envious.
Andrew,
My
how old were
hair
you the first
grows
time you
like,
said a cuss word? You were probably like, what, like 36, 37 first time you ever cussed?
who, me?
No, Andrew, I'm just giving Andrew a shit. Those are balls. Because Andrew's a little goody two-shoe growing up.
Yeah, I didn't cuss for the longest time either. And
No, I'm just because my teacher's on
Siobhan, I
elementary
put
school.
you on our list as well.
She said 18. I'm glad that Sarah's got
Okay.
a list.
I have a list.
I'm
Are
doing
you ready
I've
to
got
do
my
a reading?
Hermetics and I've got my Zodiac. And since we talked
Okay,
about Zodiac, I pulled up my Zodiac oracle.
I am going to read with my Less Vampires deck today. I also pulled out my Oracle of the Dragon Fate, so I might be inclined to read somebody with that.
And that's why you're a naughty girl now, Andrea, because you were such a good girl when you're younger. Yeah. Yeah, that's Luxana. I don't let nobody touch Luxana's hair. That's why I was able to get it to grow, because I don't trust anybody around her hair. Because she's got like, it's coarse and really, it's coarse. She doesn't have a lot of it, and it's really curly. And a lot of times, a lot of people don't know how to cut curly hair, and I had to learn the hard way about who I should and shouldn't let touch my hair. Yeah.
You guys want to know something funny about all of my kids?
They all have long hair.
None of my kids have ever had a haircut. None of them. My daughter is 18 and she's never had a haircut ever.
They also say it's bad luck to cut a child's hair before 12 months too, because it can stunt their mental growth.
I think we took that to the extreme. We went 18 years.
Oh, and they also say if you don't shave your legs or like anything with your, like when it comes like your like shaving your legs and your arms, if you wait till you're 25 to do it, then it won't grow back. It'll completely like stay gone.
Oh, that's totally false. I've never.
Yeah. Well, I don't know anybody that. Well, it's kind of hard to get like a hey, some man that's never shaved his legs before. Hey, you're over the age of 25. Go shave your legs and see if they grow back. He's not going to do it.
No,
but that's supposed to be
I
a white
didn't shave my legs until I was like 26 or 27. Like seriously, I just didn't shave. But my hair's really blonde, so you can't really see it.
Yeah, but I'm saying like never ever shave legs. Like it's supposed to like stop. Like if you wait till 25 and then shave them, it's supposed to stay gone. But like I said, it's like a wise tale.
Well, I shave them now and it comes back, so that's totally false.
Well, I used to shave my arms I started shaving my arms when I was like 12, 13 years old, and I stopped shaving them maybe just a couple years ago, and they won't grow back.
Okay, hi Rosemary.
Okay.
The first person we are reading is Ruth, and her birthday is September 8th of 79.
Ooh, she's a Virgo born on an 8. That's a lot of Saturnian energy there.
And she just wants a general read. She didn't give a specific question. I don't know if she's still here or not, but if she is, we're reading for you, Ruth.
There's a way to tag her in the. Let me see let's see. We've been an hour and 27 minutes in, so yeah, that's when we started the readings. Okay, I can remember that. I'll write it down. Rosemary.
Okay.
I love Rosemary.
I like Rosemary too. Okay, Ruth, too. This is the card that I pulled for you. I did pull it in the reverse position. I'm going to flip it around so you can look at it more clearly. This is a call for help. This card was in the reverse position. So it's not you that is needing the help. It is somebody else around you that is probably hesitant to ask for help, not because they don't trust you, but more because they don't want to admit that they need it. And it's probably somebody that you're very, very close to, and you're probably already aware of the situation, but you're just going to have to be careful when you help them, because this particular individual doesn't really is not really forthcoming on receiving the help. So you're going to have to be kind of creative about helping them out. But it's somebody that you have a direct connection with. So by helping this person out, it's going to help you out in your life. It's going to help you get to where you need to go.
No, Rebecca was dealing with children tonight. She did. She does for the night.
Her children had some things going on, so she couldn't make it.
So I pulled the last card, which is the card for strength for Leo, but yeah, I pulled it reverse. but this is what this card looks like. And I put reverse. And so what I mean, and this is Leo season. I put this is the card for Leo. And I'm sorry that we've been getting these freaking things all night. We're gonna have a thunderstorm, and I fucking hate thunderstorms.
We keep getting them for the COVID alert.
It's a thunderstorm. Here it goes again. And I don't know where the remote is. I was like, turn it down. I was not gonna do it again. So anyways, okay, so this card here, it's knowing and understanding your own power and your own strength. I think that you doubt yourself a lot, and you know that there is a very powerful, very significant thing when it comes to who you are as a person outside of the thing that you do. But it's like standing more firmly into that power. And you being born on an 8, a lot of times that's like the Saturn energy. And a lot of times people that are born on an 8, they go through a lot of hardship and stuff like that in their life, are dealing with things that just it's like sometimes they have to like work harder than others at certain things, and it's and it gets like old and tiring. But how was that? That was weird. But with the strength card though, it's like basically like pulling in like that, just like, you know, that lion type energy, you know, like, and standing firm in it, but like understanding and knowing your own power, because there's something really significant with it, and not to doubt it, you know. So that's what I got.
Okay. Oh, hi, Matt.
Moving to California. Hey, Matt. Where have you been, Matt? Oh, yeah, that's right. Matt's been missing. Matt was MIA tonight.
Yes. Well, he was busy earlier today. He got a whole bunch of pretty stones. He got some gorgeous stuff at Rose. Next, we are pulling for Andrea. You already have her
yes, the Cancer with the Libra move conjunct Pluto with the Scorpio rising, Saturn conjunct Sun in the 8th house. Yes, I know. How do I remember it? Don't ask. I just do.
Andrea, here's the card I pulled for you. Let's see what it is. Well, this is good.
Oh, that's a cool card. Bring a little bit closer. Oh, that's really pretty. Gemini energy on it.
Transition. This is a transition phase for your life. So you're kind of like growing up. I don't know if you can see real well in the picture, but it's two versions of like the same person. This one's smaller and this one's bigger. So it's kind of like growing up, growing into your place. And this card is indicating that you need to spread the influence. You need to make the impact on those around you. It is now time for you to stop relying on others and start being the one that is kind of pushing those around you to develop more. It is time for you to take a stand and kind of level up a little bit.
That's kind of interesting because I went to go pull a card and 2 cards came out. I got the card of Libra, which on this is the adjustment. This is so it's the Justice card, but in this deck it's the adjustment. So I got my thought tarot, and then the other card that came out with it is 8 of Cups. You know, and pulling the relationship card, which is, you know, the Justice card, is it is about like your relationship with other people, and pulling it with the 8 of Cups, you know, it's one thing I like about the 8 of Cups, it's like it's right before that whole wish fulfillment, that wish granting of the 9 of Cups, but like the 8 of Cups, you know, it gives you a chance to or takes a chance to sit back and really decipher out like what's rational, what's not rational, what's illusionary, what's not, like what do you want, like, and like changes that need to apply, and understanding where if it's something that's emotional based or something versus not being emotional based. Because I know you have that Libra moon that does help balance a lot of that, like that Cancer energy, because you have a lot of water in your chart and being so rising. So I think that Libra moon really does help balance that. We also have Pluto on there, so that can also amplify things in either direction. But understanding where you have an emotional connection to where you have like a mental connection. But you are connecting with people, like really define your relationship with people as well, like where are they at in your life. And you said like people take up all your time. That's when you got to put your foot down and be like and take that time that you need for yourself. I do it every day, for real. I straight put my phone down and like walk away for like a couple hours just because I need to. I can't.
She doesn't even pick it up if you text her. Believe me, I try.
You love people. You just,
Andrea, you don't have to like people to help them.
Yeah, that's true too. but for the most part, you love people. You can't necessarily say you hate people. You just hate the experiences that you go through with some people.
No, she didn't
People
say hate,
love
but I
you.
don't like it. I look at it like this. The more people I help, the less people that are going to be problematic in my day-to-day world. Because if I help people that are in my day-to-day world, they're going to have less of an issue. Therefore, they're not going to be my problem. But I really do like people.
You know I'm right.
Matt, so I see how it is. So playing online games is more important than me. No, I'm just kidding. Hope you had fun.
Got it.
Oh no, we have another spammer.
Oh, no, not Matt. I almost brought the wrong. You know what? I just gotta put this up really quickly just because I made it for a reason. Oh, StreamYard updated the thing. Let's see if I can find it. There we go.
What is it that you put? Oh, that one. Okay. The next person we are reading for is Miss Abby. Her birthday is May 1st of 1987.
Oh, the Taurus. Okay.
And that is who we are reading for right now.
Say the name again.
Abby.
Abby.
Abby, here is your card. And if you all would like to be on our reading list, just jot your name down and we will get to you shortly.
This is interesting.
This is Love Conquers All. That's the name of this card, which basically tells you to go with your heart. That's going to give you the most amount of contentment. So even if those around you are kind of iffy as to whether or not you should stay in the relationship you're in or whatnot, you should listen to what you want. This card does indicate that the relationship you're in or about to be in is worthwhile and does have the potential to be a very long relationship, even though it might be a bit rocky right now. But you need to listen to yourself and do what you think is best, not what those around you, because they don't live your life. They're not the ones that are going to be there with you at the end of every day. Okay, Mel, your turn.
Oh, the water dragon's being annoying again. Armor Vincent, Omnia. Love Conquers All. Okay. I pulled this. Check out this Mercury card. I pulled out Mercury. Look at that.
That's definitely.
These cards are hot. For real, you should see Pluto. Pluto's hot too.
Yeah.
So Mercury, this is about communication. And here's the thing though, like one thing with Tauruses that I really love the most is they are that second house energy, and the second house of Tauruses rule over the throat chakra. And usually Tauruses are very, very good about like speaking their mind, speaking their feelings, speaking, they are very communicative and for being an earth sign, like to where but they're communicative in a different way than like Capricorns and Virgo. It's almost like it's very and not to say that Virgos and Capricorns can't be authentic, but Taurus has a way of being really, really authentic in the way they communicate and vocalize and share things. And I'm a little bit kind of heavy biased with like Tauruses because they are my most all-time favorite of like the creme of the crop of like zodiac signs. So it's really hard for me to say anything bad about Tauruses because I just think they're the back daddy of them all. But the one thing with Tauruses, though, usually do have a good communication, but there are times when there might be where they can get stagnant or it's hard for them to communicate. But no, but this is like communication is going to be the key. Communication is going to be a huge factor, and it's going to be something that it's going to be your saving grace in a lot of areas. So don't ever be afraid to communicate and be within that like just being authentic in that. So I agree.
Okay, that was for Abby.
Yep.
Okay, now we're going to do Tracy. Her birthday is May 8th of 93, and she wanted to know why she's feeling sexual around Ben. Is Ben sending sexual energy?
Oh, I pulled the. You know what? Are you sure it's not you? Taurus. That's that Venus energy. Venus. Where is Venus? Venus should be in Virgo right now. And then you have Uranus right now transiting through Taurus. And sure, I'm actually gonna have to like.
Part that I pulled for you, which goes along with what Mel was saying. This is the Guardians. I pulled for my Dragon Fade deck. This card indicates that relationship has a very high probability of being very, very hot and steamy and what you need right now. It also has the potential of being long-winded if you desire that. That might not
That's
be
a
what you want
debilitated
in your life
Taurus.
right now.
Sorry.
But either way, it's going to be fun for a time. So it's definitely something that you should look into. And if it develops as something that's more substantial and you want that in your life right now, then jump on it, because it's definitely something that has the potential of working out in a very successful manner.
You know, I went in and I shuffled and I actually pulled into a split in the deck because I had gotten the Empress card, but and the Empress card is a card of manifestation too. I pulled I was not expecting to pull this. The Five of Discs, which is the card for worry. Now one thing with like the Five of Discs, you know, it's like it's a cautionary. It's very much so like cautionary, but and then it's when the deck of the Empress card. So it's like you know, it's like to be careful what you wish for, but it's gather up information, like actual like when I say tangible, I mean like actual like information. You know, take your notes, do some little investigation and stuff like that. But also too, with me putting the deck and pulling that Empress card with this, it's like if there's any doubt in there, if there's anything like that, like it'll produce. I don't know. I also do pick up like just the manifesting. All I can say is just be careful what you wish for and be careful what you think, like what you're putting out there, because it's something that
what you put out there is going to bring it back. So you have to make sure that what you're putting out and what you want are the same thing. So if you're putting out energy that you just want a quick fling, that's what you're going to get back. But if you're really looking for a long-term relationship, you need to make sure that you're manifesting and putting out that type of energy, because that's the type of relationship you're going to get. So whatever you want, you need to put that out there, make that your reality. Otherwise, you're going to get the opposite of what you're actually looking for, which could be problematic for many different reasons. If you enter into a relationship with somebody that doesn't want a long-term relationship and you do, that's going to cause conflict later on down the road and potential for heartache. And it's the same thing in the reverse. If you don't want that long relationship and you're putting out those vibes to have a long relationship, well, you're just going to end up stringing somebody else along, and it's going to be more problematic because you're going to have somebody that's puppy love over you, and that's going to not be what you're looking for. So
when it comes to dealing with bends, you got to be straightforward with them. With bends, you cannot. You have to be completely 100% straightforward, and also know and gather all your facts when you're dealing with the Benjamin, because it may not be what you think it is. So basically, get it from the horse's mouth when it comes to bends.
You need to make sure it's not just the passion you were looking for. You need to make sure it's the relationship. I hope that makes sense for you. Now, the last person that's on our list is Tracy. No, we just did Tracy. I can't read my writing. Is Siobhan.
Okay, before we go to Siobhan, I just want to say Annette, that's a debilitated Taurus, and sometimes that does happen with a debilitated sign, but that's also a sign of a Taurus. That's just other factors can play into that. But yeah, but it does happen, you know, every now and then where, you know, like I'm an Aquarius, and there's some Aquariuses that I absolutely just like kind of loathe because like personality conflict, but it happens. But for the most part, Tauruses though are my favorite. We got another February 4th. Oh, you are destiny driven.
If you're not on our list and you want to be, here is your time to get on it. Siobhan is the last reading that we have scheduled. Currently speaking. Siobhan's birthday is February 4th of, I'm thinking 1985.
So she hasn't been born yet.
She put 2985. That's hilarious.
She's like, my hands are wet. You haven't been born yet. You're from the future. That's very Aquarian of you.
You made us chuckle.
What's the other chart today? Which other chart? You have to narrow it down. Like what chart? Are you talking about the Draconic chart? And speaking of the Taurus, that Taurus has triple Gemini energy in the chart, which explains a lot of the for that Taurus. Just throwing that out there.
Ooh, Siobhan, this is a card that I pulled for you.
That was cool. Like the purples are pretty.
Yeah, this is a very pretty deck. Even the back of this card is pretty. Look at that.
Yeah, that's cool.
I love this. This card is courtesy. It's basically telling you to remember to keep your cool, to remember to be kind and courteous and polite, even when people aren't for you. You don't do it for their benefit, you do it for yours. And it tends to tick people off. They're being really rude to you and you're very nice to them. So I think in upcoming situations that are going to happen to you in the very near future, you're going to have to recall that. You're going to have to remember that even when somebody's kind of jerky to you, you got to kind of treat them with respect, because number one, they're not going to know what to do with that, and it's going to benefit you because it's going to make the other person look bad. So in this particular incident that's going to happen somewhere in the future, it's going to be in your best interest to keep that polite attitude, to be that courteous person, to be mindful of how you're looked at by others.
Ooh, you got a lot of Aries in your shit. Oh my God, that explains a lot. Sorry, I had to go look to see what the moon sign was for February 4th, 1985. And yeah, you got a lot of Aries in there. And you got that Mars. You've got Mars and Venus tightly conjunct in Aries. Oh boy, I call that the fucking and fighting aspect. Yeah. And then you got a moon in Cancer at 23. Yeah. No, I used to be a moon Aquarius,
exactly
so I understand. I understand.
I think it's going to be a conflict or a confrontation with somebody. I don't think that it's going to happen at work, but I think it's going to be with people that you're around very, very frequently. I don't know if they're very, very close friends or if they're just somebody that happens to be around an area that you are, but I don't think it's at work. I think it's in an area that you're in a more social setting.
Okay, good. It's 84, not 85. Okay. I'm going to go back. I was like, geez, that's the Aries energy, and that is just crazy. Okay, 1984. I meant to look up the moon on the other ones, too. Okay, so 80. There it is. Let's see what the moon sign is here. I'm not pulling a chart. I have a thing where I can look and see, like, the possibility for the moon. Oh, boy. Okay, this is a lot of Scorpio. A lot of Scorpio Capricorn in this one. So it would be an Aquarian moon, Aquarian sun with a Pisces moon. But if you were born really, really early in the day, that it could easily be a late degree Aquarian moon. And that's, yeah, a lot of Capricorn and Scorpio in the chart. You even got Venus in Capricorn, Mars in Scorpio, Jupiter in Capricorn, Saturn in Scorpio. Yeah, you got a lot of Capricorn and Scorpio in your chart. She's like, it don't sound good. that's a lot better than having that Mars and Venus and Aries though. Okay, so being an Aquarius and having all that Capricorn in your chart is going to reinforce like a lot of that Saturnian energy, because Aquarius and Capricorns are both ruled by Saturn, where Aquarius is ruled by Saturn and Uranus. So that's where we get like that whole eccentric and the whole like alien, like just not being like normal people. It's Uranus's fault. But if you have a Pisces moon, if you were born, because like I said, if you were born really, really super early in the morning, you could easily have an Aquarian moon. But you got Mars and Scorpio too. Very serious. You're kind of a serious Aquarius, aren't you? But that Pisces moon could stop a lot of things. Yeah, I would actually like to see the actual full chart of this and see where those stellums are, because that shows a double stellum. Oh boy, yeah, I would like to pull the full chart of it, because that's a lot of Capricorn Scorpio. That's literally a double stellium, and people that have a double stellium, usually that forms a kite in their chart, and you guys are usually very interesting. Like, it's very different, like when it comes to not only like as a person, but just life experiences too. You said that's your husband? Oh, how about your Virgo? Oh, you're with a Virgo? Glad for punishment, aren't you? Well, actually, I should say the Virgo, because Aquarius have a way of driving Virgos absolutely insane, and we love it. Well, you have all that Scorpio and Capricorn in your chart, so it would make sense that you would be with a Virgo and having a Pisces moon. So basically, his sun and your moon are in opposition of together. So so that a lot of times whenever somebody's of a moon sign and then somebody has a sun sign of the opposites, it's pretty good. You have Venus and Capricorn. Yeah, you're serious about money too. Like, yeah, very serious chart. Very creative though too. Aquarius with Pisces moons usually like it's like I said, I have to look at the whole entire chart just because I would like to see where your what houses your planets and stuff fall in. But you should be doing business definitely built for business. Definitely not a grunt worker though. I don't know if you own your own business or not, but you've got good plans in there for that. And what I like about having like Mars and Scorpio, you'll be in Aquarius. That's usually a really good bullshit detector if it's aspecting Pluto correct. Well, you got Pluto and Scorpio, so yeah. God, even your Mercury's and Capricorn with Aquarius Sun, so yeah. A lot of that Earth and water energy, so yeah, it makes sense that you would be good with the Virgo, with Pisces moon. Just so you know, they say that, like Virgo is ruled by Mercury, where Aquarius has Uranus, and Uranus is the oversoul of Mercury. So it's like so Aquarius have like we have like this thing with Virgo where we got to kind of like loosen them up, you know, because they're so stuck in their Virgo 6th house of everyday real world. Like a lot of times we have to like pull them out of that so they can see that there's more to the world than just a 3D realm, you know. But we have like a crooked way of doing it. But yeah, we drive Virgos insane. I love it. I'm gonna pull a card for you. Jupiter reversed. So, you're working on opening up a cleaning business. Okay, but yeah, well, that's kind of nervous with the Pisces moon. But no, yeah, business is definitely screams in your chart, like and working for yourself. Now I pulled Jupiter. I love Jupiter. Check out Jupiter. Even Jupiter is hot in this one. It almost looks like something from an anime.
I like the
Wisdom
cards.
guidance. There's like not so much information, but there's like acquiring acquiring more information when it comes to something. And I get that it's something that's more on a spiritual, metaphysical thing of like of learning and understanding. Especially Jupiter, but it's like having like a higher how to explain this like understanding and knowing like the higher realms of certain things when it comes to information, and it's really hard but like I said, something that's very spiritual, occult related, it's like you're being called to learn something or to know something that you like that maybe it's a little different for you that you're not used to, something that's just it's something maybe you're drawn to or something that keeps drawing your attention. That's what I just pick up. Is that it for that's all we have? Okay, now
Yeah,
Chrissy,
our
special guest for the night, Chrissy, would you like for us to pull a card for you?
Yes, please.
Okay, we should really good here. You like I've been told that. I am an Aquarius that had Virgo siblings, a kid with a Virgo, and a Virgo stellium in my chart. So I totally get the whole. I get it, which is another reason why I like to drive Virgos crazy.
I am like dropping everything over here, so don't mind me.
Well, don't be dropping it. You're gonna break stuff.
I know. I don't want to do that.
Dude, Jupiter and Capricorn. Jupiter's debilitating in Capricorn too. That could bring in a lot of money. You had your Saturn return during Saturn going through Scorpio. Yeah, that was probably not a fun Saturn return for you either. You've got pretty much all your planets are pretty much all in Capricorn and Scorpio except for your Sun, Moon, and your Sun and Moon. Those are the only two planets that are not in Scorpio or Capricorn, which I've never seen that before. Like that, like this, like you have it's, and they're even like tight degrees too. And you're an 84 baby. Yeah, 84 babies are super stubborn.
This is the card I pulled for you.
Ooh, that's pretty.
Those cards are really pretty expensive too.
Yeah, some of the cards I have are pretty expensive. This one's supernatural, so it is anything that has to do with the supernatural. It indicates that you're going to be coming into a lot of gifts, a lot of new experiences, a lot of things that mindset that you maybe lost touch with from years ago. It's going to become more prevalent. You're going to learn a lot about yourself in this journey. You're also going to learn how to help others, which I think is going to be the most important thing for you. But also you're going to learn how to kind of self-govern yourself to the point where you're not relying on everybody else for doing anything in the work. You're going to kind of learn how to go about it and achieve it yourself, which is going to help you exponentially.
Awesome.
I got pulled 2 cards came out. I got the 5 of Swords reversed, which is the card you want to see reversed, and then I got the 9 and then the 9 of Wands. And what I love about the 9 of Wands, that's a mastery card. That's like stepping into your whole, like, your essence of understanding what your mastery is, what your power is. It's like you come into that full awareness of it and you embrace it. You know, it's like take that moment to embrace it. But with the 5 of Swords, which is really cool. Like, this card's like, I don't know, it's, if you look at it, it almost looks like a symbol for Taurus in there. But what it, like, 5 of Swords reverse is like coming out of that, coming out of like that that heartbreak, that pain, coming, you know, because 5 and 3s of Swords are like, they're really one of those heart-wrenching, like, just having your soul just broken down in front of you, and just like, you know, they're really hard cards to like really deal with. But when you pull them in reverse, though, like I said, those cards you want to see in reverse. But this is coming out of a turmoil, coming out of heartbreak, coming out of dealing with a lot of that negative energy and conflicting energy, not only just within yourself but with other people, and coming into a mastery of itself and understanding that.
Yay! Oh,
So yeah, I love, yeah. Then one's one of my favorite cards.
Thank you both. That was great.
No, you're welcome.
We got Velveeta. They say that Velveeta. I'm so sorry. I can't pronounce it. Velva. Wait, did I say that right? I said Velveeta, even though Velveeta is like the bomb. Velva. She said Capricorn. She was the Capricorn.
Well, we have been live for like 2 hours, so I'm gonna have to jump off here because I have a client that I need to take care of.
I got a few things to do as well, but let's see here. I'm gonna timestamp in the comments when we start reading, so those who left before the reading start will know where to fast forward to for the reading.
Okay.
And thank you for joining us, everybody that's new for live.
You guys are
and
awesome.
Thank you for joining us.
Be sure to like us.
Thank you
like
for
our
having
pages
me.
If you haven't. Oh, you can leave feedback on Sacred Dragon or Mystic Ink Vibrations, or what is Rebecca's page? Or Purple Knit page, whichever you're watching from. If you hit the page link that you're watching from, if you go back, you can hit and leave a review. That would be great. We also accept donations, which if you feel the need to donate, they are in the comments up above. We use most of our donations to cover the cost of doing these free videos because we do have to pay for the StreamYard service.
Yeah, and I didn't plug in my Mystical Ink Vibrations, but that's my page is Mystical Ink Vibrations, and then she's got Sacred Dragon. And then Rebecca's got the Purple Knit.
But we'll see them if you leave them anywhere. We'll see them. We are all on
comment, like, even on Sacred Dragon, because we're all interconnected together. So
yeah, and we do.
We love you too, Andrea.
We also do private readings and lessons. If anybody's interested, you can just hit us up. We do an array of different services, such as past life regression, anything astrology, anything tarot, anything oracle. We do other kinds of divination as well, such as I Ching or rune readings. We do, some of us are mediums, so we do mediumship work. So if you had a loved one that you would like to communicate with, we can help you out with that. We also like to teach, and we also offer spiritual counseling.
All right,
have
you guys,
a great day, guys.
It was a good night. It was fun tonight. It was really, really fun tonight. And I got to put Sarah on the spot with her astrology. Good night, everybody.
Good night.